on the road to recovery in Castle Rock, Colorado. Live from Millville, New Jersey, I'm on the road to recovery. We're on the road to recovery in Morgantown, West Virginia at Mountaineer Field. And live in Scranton, Pennsylvania, I'm on the road to recovery. Here I am on the road to recovery from Berlin, Maryland. Hey, from Caseville, Michigan, I'm on the road to recovery. I'm on the road to recovery at Ann Arbor, University of Michigan. Hey, I'm on the road to recovery out in LA with my good friend Tony Dennison, a gifted actor and just an all-around classy guy with an incredible story. And I'm so glad I get to share his story with the world. On the road to recovery from Los Angeles with the amazing Tony Dennison.
My grandfather, my mother, both grandfathers were from Sicily, and they made their own Burgundy wine. So as you're a kid, the tradition in Sicily and Italy is to, have a glass of wine, and the stuff that they made was like, whoa. And so I used to cut it a little bit with orange juice or orange soda. It's starting to get a little high because I'm an alcoholic. So maybe my cousins who didn't drink the same stuff didn't have the same effect on them as it did on me. And the first chance I got, I was like, okay. I immediately went to whiskey. I used to get so wasted on beer that, like, if I was a woman and I had 2 beers, I'd wake up pregnant. Because, all my blackouts were on beer, interestingly enough. So then I was a real late bloomer to drugs. I did my first drug when I was about 18. I did pot. And it was really great, and I really enjoyed the high, and it was different. I said, oh, okay, this is okay, I can get this. And then there's the gateway. People say that, pot is the gateway. It's really booze is the gateway to that whole pharmaceutical world of better living through chemistry, quote unquote. And I immediately started doing everything: acid, cocaine, heroin, pills, you name it. And then I basically settled on cocaine at the very end of my trails, where I was doing like $800 a day. I was snorting it, and then I hit my, what they call the bottom, and on cocaine. But it was really more a financial bottom than a emotional bottom. So I stopped doing the cocaine, and I kept drinking. But interestingly enough, I started to get my life, started to write itself, and got a big break. Things really started working out for me, and then I found myself in a situation 8 years later where drinking one night, drinking wine, brought me to a place where I was homicidal. I was a crazy man. I'm not just saying that, figuratively. I was literally insane. If a cop had seen me, I would have definitely been locked up. And wound up howling at the moon like a werewolf. And then I joke and talk, I tell the story, it's true. I was yelling and screaming like a werewolf in my backyard, and then 2 coyotes howled back. And I remember I just fell apart. And I said, this is great, I've become a savage. Wild animals know what I'm saying, So I cried like a baby for 10 minutes or so, tried to stand up, couldn't, and then I heard a voice. And the voice was very, very clear. It said, it's over, you're done, you need help. And at first I thought it was my neighbor, because like I said, I was screaming and yelling. I lived up in the hills in Hollywood, perfect home and everything, and there was nobody there, and I just went, okay, didn't argue with the voice. And I made a call to a guy who is in AA, who I know pretty well, or knew pretty well at the time, and then he had about 3 years more than me. I wound up sponsoring him ultimately. And then it set me off on my journey, which I often refer to as the journey of trying to be a hero, and being the hero in my own life. Like, one of my favorite writers is a guy named Joseph Campbell. And as I understand what he wrote, if I can condense it down, it's basically the hero, whether it's a male or a female, who they're confronted with a situation where they are sucks so bad that they decide, look, I'll walk out that door. I don't know what's on the other side of it, but I can't stay here anymore. I've got to do something.
follow your bliss. I mean, find where it is and don't be afraid to follow it.
But I had enough inner strength or enough willingness to save my life to say I got to do something else. And I think that everybody does that, you know, who enters into all of the different programs. Sometimes I'm not doing a lot of the stuff that I used to do. I used to do pretty daily, and I'm starting to do it again. I'm starting to get to that place where I do these sort of habits of spiritual recovery. And when I do, I can definitely tell the difference of how I feel. You know, again, quoting Dylan, he says, he not busy being born
is busy dying.
So, you know, it's like every day you got to try to be born again. You got to just, and I don't mean that in a religious sense in any way, shape, or form. I mean, literally just start to like renew yourself, renew yourself, renew yourself. I really believe that it's hope that gets us out of bed every day, that the day is going to be different. You don't have hope that the day is going to be different, you probably stay in bed the whole day. I'm really corny. I really believe in things like having hope in oneself and trying to affect change in others. And unless they ask me, I don't try to promote what it is I've learned. But if you ask me, I'm more than willing to tell you, you know, hey, you know what works for me, you know. I know when I'm succeeding because there's a particular feeling that I have. When I'm in this feeling, I feel connected, okay, to source energy, to God, the universe, whatever, you know, whatever it is, whatever word works for you. And for me, it's like I feel connected to that. I feel connected to a loving place. Because one day I decided I didn't even know I was making the decision to be a hero. And that's what's changed my life.
Hey, Tony, I'm so grateful to share your story with other people. I'm glad that you're a part of my life. I'm so appreciative of your time and your inspiration. On the road to recovery from beautiful Los Angeles, I'm Michael DeLeon. We'll see you on the next episode.